So for those of you who are watching right now, what I'm going to be getting into is how to shoot, edit, and distribute a real estate video in the easiest way possible, straight from your phone. And I'm going to be going through what you need to shoot, what you need to edit, how long both of those take, things that you need for distributing the content to different social media platforms. And yeah, just basically talking about the logistics and the barrier of entry and how it's never been lower to get really good video content and social media content for your brand. So just gonna wait for a couple extra minutes. Let's just get right into it. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, hopefully you can see my screen here. I'm gonna go into this, present. Alrighty, I'm gonna move myself out of the way here. That should be good. All right, so welcome to the Real Estate Video Workshop. My name is Max Crone, and I am the CEO and founder of MK Media. Just some really basic things about me. As this is recorded, if you want to look into this, pause it and check it out. I just said, founder and CEO of MK Media. I'm a realtor, biohacker, investor, stoic, future filmmaker, but currently videographer. Yes, those are different. There is a difference, but that's a whole nother conversation. All right, so why am I so passionate about using video, real estate video, in listing media? So, and as you can see, I struck through important and I inserted imperative there. So why video is imperative? So just some quick facts. I'll touch on all of them in just a second. You get 4 times, on average, you get 4 times the inquiries if you have a video in the listing media. Another point is 80% of homeowners prefer to list with someone with a realtor who uses video to market their listings. And only 9% right now, only 9% of realtors are currently making video for their listings. However, nationwide, it's closer to, I think it's 38%. 38%, use video in some capacity. And maybe they use it, one time, like maybe it's a one-off. Maybe it's every time, every listing. And yeah, etc. And the last point is just best way to differentiate yourself. It's not really yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any free way to differentiate yourself better than using video in 2024. So 403%. That is the average of increase in inquiries that you're going to get on your listing. So that means after this video, take what you learn, implement a video in your next listing, and you should see a lot more inquiries. All right. And it's what the people want, honestly. So 80% of homeowners, like I just said in just a second ago, 80% of homeowners prefer to list with a realtor who uses video in their listing media. And only 9% are making video for themselves. I should have had 38% in here. That's a more accurate number, but that doesn't consider consistency. Like that doesn't consider realtors who are using video consistently every single listing. That number is probably much, much lower. And so more listings because most people prefer to use a realtor who uses video in their listing media. So you implement this, theoretically, you should get more listings and more inquiries on those listings. Just for implementing video. That's why I'm so passionate about this. So yeah, sounds like a recipe for success. And I believe this is one of the best, if not the best, free way to differentiate yourself. maybe even, you know, including paid ways to differentiate yourself. Anyway, so anyone know any of those stats that I just put out there? All right, so now I'm going to get into what doesn't work, and we'll tie all of this together in just a second. So filming by hand. I'll get into that in just a second, but then video slideshow of photos. I think you know what I'm talking about, where you click on the play button and then it just shows you picture, slowly goes up, picture, slowly goes up, picture, and no video at all. So filming by hand, is it better than nothing? I would say yes. I would say yes, but there are a lot of things that make it very hard for people to watch. For me, if I hear someone's footsteps, if I hear, the floor creaking, if I hear the person breathing, it makes it kind of hard for me to watch. You know, those kinds of videos are hard for me to stick through until the end. So you don't really get a good glimpse of and like all-encompassing um, understanding of the property that they're trying to showcase. So it's almost, in my opinion, it's almost an obligation to make a video that is really easy for someone to watch. Um, anyway, so there's a lot of shakiness in the video if you're filming by hand. Um, and like I said, there is an exception. Most of you have probably checked out the exception at the bottom. If you have an extremely steady hand and a really smooth like walking pattern, so smooth gait, that's just like walking pattern. If you can really, really slowly and smoothly go throughout a house with your phone like this, and if you can do that room by room by room, that's fine. Um, but and I challenge you to try because it's not, you'll rewatch it and um, you'll probably say, "Oh yeah, he was right." No, I'm not as good and stable as I thought I was. Um, but I'm gonna quick touch on again why filming by hand is not exactly ideal. So, the last bit of the last bugaboo I have with filming by hand. Normally, they don't have any audio attached, like music or anything like that. It's super easy to, toss music in. We'll get to that. Um, but yeah, most realtors don't include music. So not only are you watching something that, this person isn't talking, um, you can hear all of these like noises that you don't care for hearing. And the video is like 4 or 5 minutes long because there's no cuts in between. Um, but yeah. Uh, anyway, I'm gonna get to the next one, which is, or yeah, a video slideshow of photos. We already touched on this. So, for those who aren't as fortunate, like myself, who can't film by hand, like can't slowly, smoothly go through a property like that, my best piece of advice is just go on either Facebook Marketplace or Amazon and buy a gimbal. I have a gimbal right here. This is the tool that I use. I use this tool every single day, whether it's making a video for like a listing video or whether it's just making just social media content. I put my phone, so it's super easy. You just pop it open, and then I don't have my magnet right by me right now, but you just clamp the magnet to this, and then if you see this piece right here, this part is magnetized, and then you put it like that, and then it just sits like that, and you know it's super stable. Um, so that is, that's something that I would highly, highly recommend. Um, in the title or in the description or whatever, I probably said something along the lines of this being completely free, a completely free way to get video, in front of your target audience. But this is one of the exceptions that I would highly recommend. But is it necessary? Not really. But if you're doing this long term, I would say it's necessary. Facebook Marketplace, you can get a gimbal for 50 bucks, no more than 100 bucks. If you want to get this gimbal, this is by DJI. DJI is pretty much known for their gimbals, and they have, they're just about top of the line. And I think I got mine for 175, but now they're 150 bucks. If you go on Amazon, I might have a link to it in the description, just to, make your life easier. But, but speaking of making life easy, this gimbal has absolutely leveled up my content production like you wouldn't believe. I think it'd do the same for you. So definitely check that out and put some consideration into buying a gimbal, whether it's used or it's new. All right, so video slideshow of photos. So as you guys have probably all seen, there's these, if you're on Zillow or Redfin or what have you, you'll click the play button and it'll just be like one picture at a time and slowly goes in and out and then another picture and then another picture. Personally, I get so frustrated seeing those because all of those photos that are in that video, all of those photos are in the listing media, and I can scroll as quickly or as slowly as I want, just by using these two fingers on the right arrow in the back and the left arrow. So this irks me to no end. In my opinion, it's almost bait and switch. Bait and switch just meaning, um, well, you guys probably understand what bait and switch means, but you're not getting what you intended on. So like the way that you got into this piece of marketing, you thought it was going to be you thought it was going to deliver but a little bit more than it did. So you thought it was going to be a nice looking video that seamlessly goes through a property and showcases it really well. But it's literally just the same exact pictures in listing media. The only exception that I have to this is if you're going to put all of this information. So square footage, lot size, number of beds, baths, garage space, floors, nearby attractions, restaurants, parks, stuff like that. If you can include that, I would say that's passable. I still don't like the idea of it, but if you think, I mean, it's your social media. If you think that your customer is going to like it, by all means, but only do it if it's going to add something to your brand, your social media, your listing media, etc. So that is all for that. And then the last thing that is just not okay is no video at all. It's never been easier to create really, really good video, really nice looking video straight from your phone. And I mean, it's free. Everyone has a smartphone. It's I mean, it's essentially free because you have a smartphone. Um, you probably don't have to pay for storage or anything like that. Um, if you're using a really high quality camera, you might need something like this, and you might need something like this to convert or to be able to even, edit that video on your computer. But the reason why you need that drive is because the files are so dang big on your phone. You're probably going to be running 100 megabytes, but we're getting way too nitty gritty. I'm going to kind of pull back to the overview. So yeah, so smartphones take just as good a video as, older mirrorless or DSLR cameras. And like I showed you a little bit ago, It's so quick to pop that gimbal open and I'm ready to shoot. Whereas if you've ever seen or tried to balance a gimbal on your own, I have a gimbal right behind me. I'm not gonna go grab it, but I have the DJI uh, uh, Ronin SC, and I mean it's a great gimbal, but it takes forever to dial in. So um, where was I? Sorry, I just completely blanked. Um, but yeah, no video at all is just in this day and age, 2024, in my opinion, as a realtor, it's just not an option. Um, it's just it's so easy to implement. It could be free, and what it what it what it provides is just so great to your personal brand, and to I mean your end consumer ultimately. I'm just gonna really quick stop sharing just to see if anyone popped on here. Okay, figures. All right. All right. Back to it. Okay. All right. So let's talk about filming. So what you will need. So in my opinion, you're gonna need a phone gimbal like this. Um, again, not overly expensive, pretty cost effective, and it pays for itself tenfold. So you'll need a little bit of time, 20, 30 minutes or so. It's going to start, well, it'll take a little bit more just to start out, but you'll eventually get really, really quick at this. And I can go through a property in 10, 15 minutes. I can edit it in 20 or 30, and I could have that video, like the idea of a video of this property, I could have that in my camera roll in, you know, a matter of an hour if I wanted to. So another thing that you'll need is an iPhone, well, either an iPhone or I know Android has some pretty nice, phones with cameras, or like pretty nice cameras that are built into the phones. So Androids will work too. For me personally, I have never used an Android, so I recommend an iPhone, ideally a 13 Pro or newer, but I've been shooting. I shot a couple videos with a 12, and it was just fine. It's not it's not quite as good. The resolution's a little bit grainy, but it does the trick. I have a 14 plus, like the big one, and I have the point five zoom, and like the wide angle lens, and that's how I record. Um, that's how I record the interiors. And then this is something to definitely keep in mind, excuse me. So there are some people call these like accent shots. If you have like a really cool chandelier, or if you have a really cool water feature of some sort, you can go into one time zoom, so like the regular lens, um, or you can even put a little bit of zoom on it after like the one times, make it like 1.2 times. Again, we're getting a little nitty gritty. So let's get back to what you need. So time, a gimbal, and an iPhone. That's really it. Man, why didn't I just say that at first? Okay. So, oops, did I skip something? Okay. So production day. It's going to be a little different if you are a videographer or if you are a realtor, but for me personally, like my walkthrough is if I am, if I'm a realtor for that day, or let's just say I'm a videographer for that day, I'll ask the seller what I should, shy away from, what I definitely should showcase, and yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for that. And then I'll walk through every single room just to kind of get an idea of flow, how I want how I want the video to look. Um, One tip that I don't have in this presentation, I didn't intend on explaining, is the idea of shooting to edit. So a lot of people just shoot a take and they're like, "Oh, that looks good. I'll do one more." So they shoot that same take. Maybe it's the same way, but maybe it's just a little bit smoother. My problem with that's totally fine if it matches all of the other videos, but for me, I like to have kind of a chronological flow. So if you put one clip here and then one clip here, it doesn't they don't clash. I don't know how to fully explain what I'm thinking, but um if you tune into my Instagram, I'll have tons of content on that by the time you watch this. So definitely go check out my Instagram. I'll show you my Instagram handle at the end. But let's just continue with this. So I'll walk through every room and keeping the shoot to edit in mind, just thinking about flow and making sure don't put the things in that the seller doesn't want me to put in, and definitely showcase the things that they want me to showcase. Then I'll kind of, again, visualize how I want to go through it, and then I'll start recording. So if I don't like a take, I'll do another take, I'll do another take. And normally I try to nail one shot and have one shot that's like that's good. Like I feel good with it, but then I try one more and I just try to nail it. So and honestly I try to get to the point of feeling like I nail every take, not necessarily every shot, but every take, meaning if I want to shoot a straight on to the kitchen, maybe there's a long rectangular island and it's like right down the island is the take. So I'm saying do that take a couple times, and if you know I'm gonna make sure I get one that I feel like I absolutely nail, and then maybe it's one from the side, and then I'll try to get one that I absolutely nail. Um, if you're catching my, hopefully you're catching my drift here. So yeah, the last step to production day is throw your iPhone on the gimbal and start shooting. Um, and then I have some subtitle here. Put your own flair on the video. Make it undeniably yours, meaning if there is something that you think just looks really good with a real estate video that maybe other people aren't doing, just do that. Like m- you can even do that every single shoot. For me, what I do is I shoot all my videos vertically now. If I mean per request, I'll shoot one horizontally. But I'll shoot a video vertically for most shots, and then I'll take three takes, so like three different takes. Maybe it's the kitchen. Well, let's say it's the master bedroom and then like two smaller bedrooms. So I'll do three different takes horizontally like this, and then I'll stack them one on top of another in the editing room. It's super easy. I think I have a video coming out on my Instagram. It's probably already out, so check out my Instagram after this. There's gonna be a lot for you to check out on Instagram after this. But I'll have three takes, and they're all stacked on top of each other because three horizontal videos makes a vertical video. I put white borders on too. Um, anyway, if you have seen some of my videos, you have definitely seen that part. And that's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like my motif, but I don't do it every time. Anyway, um, make it your own, put your own flair on the video. All right, editing. So editing might seem a little bit tedious or, you know, time consuming. And, in the beginning, it will be. It's not, it doesn't, it's not like, or it's like everything. It's not just gonna come super, super easy. Um, there's a Chinese proverb or something like that. it goes something along the lines of um, it must be hard before it's easy. So like there's going to be a learning curve, but I promise it's worth it, and you know you'll get to the point of editing videos in less than 30 minutes, honestly. So what you'll need time again, so 30 minutes to an hour. You'll need one of these apps on the App Store, so VN, video editor, or CapCut. And then excuse me, I just gotta take a sip here. All right, I'm just gonna make sure my audio is still coming through. Testing. All right, awesome. All right. So after you have filmed this property, you nailed every single take, you have one clip that you know you absolutely nailed. You will favorite all of those clips in your camera roll. And then what you're going to do after that is you're going to go to your favorites album on your camera roll, and then you're just going to trim those. So like trim where the clip starts and where the clip ends. You'll get a feel for this too. But what I do is, so like I turn my gimbal on, I throw my phone on the gimbal, and then uh I hit record, and then I start moving. So that first part that I'm not recording, or that I'm not moving, I want to take that out of the video. Like I don't want to showcase that. It just doesn't look very good. So I just take the front part out and the back part out. So leaving me with exactly what I want in this take. So then once you do that, you will, and once you have all of the trimmed clips, all of the trimmed and favorited clips, you're going to upload all of those clips into like whatever app, the app of your choice, VN or CapCut. I prefer VN. All of the videos on my Instagram are VN. And yeah, so if you're going to follow along with some of my tutorials and informational videos, instructional videos, I would recommend going with VN, but they have a lot of very similar tools. Um, both platforms look very similar. Anyway, choose whatever app you want, upload all of those videos into that app, into a project, and then you'll make some simple time lapse. That might sound difficult um, at first, but again, I have a video on my Instagram, and that video is actually pinned. So if you go to my Instagram, it'll be one of the first three videos that you see on my Instagram. So after you make some time ramps and you have those videos trimmed, you pretty much have a nice looking video, but now you need music. So you're going to find some music. On VN, they have different categories. So one is like, oops, one is fresh, one is like happy or bright. Uh, I think one is dramatic and like vibe. Like there's different not genres of music, but kind of. And you'll just search those, and you can search it natively in the VN app, and then you'll just add that to your video. So that is pretty much all you have to do. So these last two things, or step 6 and 7, are completely optional, but I think once you get into the swing of things, I think it's good to learn these 2 points here. So fix the time ramps to work with the music. This is as I said, it's completely optional, but it definitely elevates your video. So if you have a song that has certain beats, and on that beat you switch from one video to or one clip to the next. Sometimes that can look really cool, um and it's just, yeah, I don't know, it just makes it kind of exciting to watch, and it's really easy to watch that video the whole way through. And that's what you really want for um, engagement and the Instagram algorithm and YouTube algorithm, all that kind of stuff. So then the seventh point is touch up the color. So this is completely optional again, but normally if I do this, I just touch up the saturation just a tiny, tiny bit. So just move the slider just a little bit to the right, and then maybe the contrast a little bit to the right just to make those darks kind of, punchier and like stand out a little bit. I like that look a lot. So, yeah, those are pretty much the two things that I adjust. Um, if I'm going to adjust, like I said. And then this is one of the most important steps, and that is download. Like when you download from the app, um, the settings that you want to download in is 1080p, 30 frames per second. And I'm actually gonna update this here. Um, it will probably be on this setting automatically, but I'm just going to, well, yeah, 9 or 10 bit. So that will be a setting in there. I wouldn't touch it because it's probably already going to be on that, but if it's not, you might want to consider throwing it on that. All right. And with that being said, you can film in 4K or you can film in 1080p. It doesn't really matter because you're going to be downloading it at 1080p anyway, because that is what Instagram compresses files to. Um, well, I'm gonna have to look that up again. But last I checked, that is the frame rate that Instagram posts reels at, and that is the maximum quality that you can get out of yeah, out of your reels when you're posting on Instagram. All right, so speaking of posting, I would not post if you have two listings that you shoot both of those listings in that same day. I wouldn't post, both of them back to back. I just like spacing it out a little bit. I don't know if there's any sort of merit to, with regards to the algorithm or anything like that, but I always space it out at very, very minimum 2 hours. Um, especially if you only have two videos to post within the week or so, I would post one today, one in 3 days, as I have here. So you can use the in-app scheduler, as you can see right here, or you can use the MK Media Social Planner, which we can talk about. You can reach out to me for that. We'll go through that in a little bit. So how to schedule a post on Instagram, how to schedule a reel on Instagram. It's all the same thing. So this is what you're going to see at first. So it's going to say new post, or it'll probably say new reel, and then it'll have your reel, it'll have preview, and update your cover, so on and so forth. You'll add your caption, and then you'll scroll down here. So once you scroll down, then you go to this photo here. You will find advanced settings. You click that advanced settings, and it pops this up right here. And then, as you can see, it says schedule content. That's the first thing you see once you click advanced settings. So you'll toggle schedule this post on, and then once you have that toggled on, it'll pop this up down here. So Wednesday, March 6th, 11:55 a.m. I probably changed that because I like to post a little bit later in the day. I like to post right around anywhere from 3 to 4 or so. So that's what you do, and then you hit done, and this is what you have here. Um, So now that probably looks very familiar because that's where you are in this first step here. And then once you have all of this figured out, so normally I do audience. I think it's topics now. I think it's called topics. So once you click topics, you can select different things, but again, too nitty-gritty, we're not going to go into that. So then you'll just hit schedule, and your post is going to be completely ready to go, scheduled, and it's going to schedule at that date and time that you selected. Pretty um, pretty cool. So now I'll talk a little bit about the MK Media Social Planner. Uh, this is how I post almost everything besides my Instagram content. Well, I shouldn't say all of my Instagram content, but some of my Instagram content. Um, Funny enough, it's just well, I won't go into that. So how you're going to do it on the MK Media Social Planner is click this, well, you'll navigate to the marketing tab, you'll hit social planner, it'll automatically be on social planner. You'll connect your socials. That stuff is all relatively straightforward. Then you'll hit new post, you'll hit create new post, and then it'll have all of these things. So you'll click this video icon right here. You'll select your video. You'll throw any sort of text you want to put in there. And then if you want to customize for each channel, so you can post to Google Business Profile, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Once you select the profiles that you want to post to, you can toggle this customize for each channel, and this is especially helpful if you want to have long form copy on your Facebook post or your LinkedIn post. You can't do that on Twitter. So once you select those, and if you don't hit customize for each channel, it's gonna have a super short description, and that might not be what you are looking for. So that's why you hit that toggle for customize for each channel, and you'll and then you'll have the option to go into specifics. So then once you do that, you're going to hit this little drop down here, and you can either hit post now, schedule a post, send for approval, or schedule recurring posts. So what I do, I just hit schedule post 9 times out of 10, and then that 1 out of 10 times, it's normally just post now. But then you go here, and then you select the 5th. You select 11:52 a.m., whatever time you want. Again, I schedule it just a little bit out, a little bit later in the day. And as you can see here, it says schedule post. You schedule post and you're done. So that is the social planner. Captions, hashtags, and collabs. So we'll go into this very briefly, but if you can make a very informative caption, about your video, this is tailored towards Instagram now. Add all the information you can, because the longer they're reading a description, the better it is for the YouTube algorithm, and the more that they push that to new people. So it's kind of neat, how that works. I would include hashtags, but not go crazy on hashtags. Some people have 40 different hashtags, 50 different hashtags. There's a time and place for it, but in my opinion, and in my experience, from my experience, it's just not it's not what Instagram wants to see from a user posting a reel. They don't, yeah. So okay, back to why you're using hashtags in the first place. Instagram more and more is being used as a search engine. So what does that mean? People are going into the search bar, and they're not just searching for a specific person or a specific company, or etc. They're just searching for Wisconsin Realtor. So why this is cool is if someone searches Fox Valley Realtor, there's going to be a lot of similar hashtag like posts with similar text hashtags in those in that explore page, or search page, or whatever you want to call it. So if you add like WI Realtor, or Fox Valley Realtor, or something location based or niche based, I guess you could say, you will have a lot higher likelihood of being found organically if you just use a couple hashtags that relate to your customer and what your customer is looking for. So covered captions, we covered hashtags, collabs. So collabs are very interesting. This is a relatively new function that Instagram has rolled out. So everybody knows that you can tag someone on a reel or a post, but what some people might not know is now you can collaborate with people. So that's how it says, um, you know, Jackson Brown and Pat McDonald. I don't know why I'm thinking about music right now, but anyway, that's it'll say those two accounts uh, together instead of just one username at the top. I hope that makes sense. But it's really cool because it posts to both people's social media platforms. So if you are posting it, yeah, if you are posting it and you ask your broker, for example, to collaborate, it will show on their page and it'll also show on your page. Well, obviously it's going to show on your page. What this does is it essentially could double your engagement, triple your engagement if the person that you're collaborating with, if they have a bigger following than you, then you can get a lot of engagement on the post. I actually did this with bulk supplements. I don't know of what percentage these you viewers are that are watching. I don't know what percentage of you guys are um, into exercising or supplements or anything like that, but Bulk Supplements is a company that, I love their products. So I was looking to see if they had some sort of affiliate program because I refer bulk supplement products all the time. I was like, well, see if I could maybe make some money doing this. So um, they ended up having some sort of sponsorship program and they sent me like a shirt and some supplements and some other gear. And I posted a video or a couple photos of pretty well articulated caption as well as photos with my camera. My brother was taking photos with my camera of me just posing after a pretty good arm day. I had a pretty good pump going. Um, and I requested to collaborate with Bulk Subs, which Bulk Subs probably has, I don't know, 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers, and they accepted it. So I got a lot of engagement on that carousel, meaning more than one photo, carousel photos on Instagram. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Anyway, I would highly consider collaborate, like just requesting to collaborate with your broker. And maybe if you did this video with someone else, um, then asking them to collaborate as well. So, like I said, here it's a complete win-win. Just more content on both people's platforms. Uh, so yeah. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. If you were interested at all in my Instagram handle, it's here. This was supposed to be a live event, so I had Q&A and breakout/intros at the end, but nobody showed up. So, um, yeah, nothing like a good old public failure. Um, no, I'm not too worried about it. I wanted to make this video anyway, and it was it was almost better that it went like this, but thank you all for watching. And if you made it to this part in the video, um, you know, you're either a trooper or I have some valuable information here. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, just type in Max Crone. You should be able to find it. It's gonna look a little bit like this dude, a little bit like this dude as the profile picture. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Any questions that you have, leave it down in the comments section. I'll be answering every single question that you have, because I'll probably only get two or three. So stay tuned. I post a lot on my Instagram, so check that out, and we will see you in the next video.